Hello and welcome to another Let's Play. Me, GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. Before we start, if you're interested in playing this game, you can get it free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, then you can go to Patreon, which is $8 a month, for this and other games. So, on the last Let's Play, it's the morning of the wedding. And we came over to their house, you know, the main family's house, where we met Grandma Murdoch, who was like, hey, I know things that are going on. Here's the letter with the photos, and the negatives are upstairs in Holly's bedroom, presumably, so you go look for them. At which we didn't find them. Did find a rug that seemed to have a certain red-colored stain on it, which is weird, in the closet. But then ran out because Holly's father came in. And who is Granny Rowan's? Who is she the grandmother or the mother of? One of them. Maybe Alfred. But yeah, Alfred's home. So now we're just pretending we're just here. Hey, you know. Oh, and reset face. Boop. What's the store help doing here? He stopped by earlier to help, and I told him I could use an assistant. You didn't say he was here. Didn't ask, did you? Well, it's fine. It's a fine time for him to show up. I need some help carrying to the church. I mean, I guess that's a sentence. Taking my help, are ya? Not like I need any. But buy an old woman a slice of coffee cake before you take her manservant, won't ya? I know, I'm just trying to voice. Alfred looks unamused by the jab. He directs me to the stairs and turns on a light bulb. Brian's basement is filled with boxes and boxes of stuff. You know, stuff and things. Iron casings for pans that look like they're missing their lids. Various planks of wood. Parts of what look like a sewing machine or a loom that are out of commission. Painted plates. Painted plate? Some of which are cracked. I was like, what are painted plates? But it's like, oh, those fancy plates that, you know, people would decorate and I don't think ever use. Or they'd be decorated somewhere else. Like China. That it's called China. Well, I don't know. Never mind. Divergent. It's very tight and very dingy. I'm not exactly new to manual labor, so the faster we get out of here, the better. Tell me what to haul, and I'll take care of it, sir. The man is just shifting through boxes. Sir? No need to be hasty, son. But hasty is exactly what I want to be. This place is making my nose wrinkly. Looks like Granny likes you. That's good. She doesn't usually take to plain old working folk. Must be something special in you. I don't know how to follow that up. I'm about to ask him what we're looking for when he speaks up again. And sorry if my reading yawns are a pain in the butt. They are to me, because it's like, I'm going to read this. I'm not yawning, and then I don't know why. I guess I spend most of my time talking instead of actually breathing. Murdoch does too, doesn't he? He shuffles through the boxes. You're both real close, aren't you? He's pretty good for a boss, sir. Alfred stops, stands, and turns. He chuckles a bit. Good for a boss? His smirk dies. Boy, I know you're fucking my son. I'm your boss. Damn right you are, sir. His serious face cracks up, and he starts to laugh. You think Murdoch's a good boss? He's a shit boss. His laughter dies down a little as he turns around, crouching and looking through the cupboard. But he's a good boy. Real good boy. His voice settles into a whisper. It's flatter than before. Well, like, oh, I like being called good boy, but don't get caught in it a lot. Sad. No bad taste in people. No, not him. He takes off his eyeglasses and starts to clean them. Do you have any, regrets, Mr. Ayers? I regret that I'm not a mind reader, so I could find out what I need to leave. What we need to leave. So I could find out what we need to leave. Oh, just, not bring with you? Suppose so. You ever lost a son? Can't say I've ever gotten nobody pregnant. That would be impossible for more reasons than one. Good on you that, Mr. Ayers. God rewards the chaste. Well, that's too fucking bad. Not like I think God rewards anybody, anyhow. Today, it feels like I'm losing a daughter. You become a better person, I think. Then you learn to lose the things you love. Let's stop thinking about things that you love and focus on things in the basement. You let go. You become a better man. If more people rose to the challenge, then that, in what world would it be? Oh, what world would it be? Cleaner for sure. Right. Are towels what we're looking for? No. It's silverware set. I've been saving it for years. It'll be somewhere on the floor, but everyone just messes with my things down here. They shouldn't be. If you get down on your knees, there might be something under one of those tables. I would do it, but my legs are bad. Just stand on the opposite end of the room to give me space, and I'll go for it. Of course. I lower myself to the basement floor, and it's filthy. The bricks are covered completely with dust, and there's dark splotches underneath. Looking like blood. I lift the sheets and look for something. There's an old box with hinges that looks promising. The handle was cold to the touch. It scrapes along the bricks as I pull it out from under the table. This ringing a bell? I look at the old fox, who's just standing in the corner, staring at me. He doesn't respond, but I think he expects me to open it. There's just clothes in it. Kids' clothes. If they didn't belong to Murdoch, they probably belonged to his brother. Morbid that they're still down here. This ain't it. Mr. Briars still isn't saying much. I push it back under the table and crouch down again. This time, there's a thin, heavy box that clatters when I move it. Oh, this could be it. I feel him walk past me and shudder. Mr. Briars, please don't do that. He is in a different corner of the room now, pulling sheets from a box. I think he's examining them. The box that I have turns out to be metal Christmas ornaments built from wire and string. It's kind of funny looking at old Christmas ornaments, like, ones that are hundreds of years old or like at least 70. And it's like, yes, made out of lead and stuff, but hella delicate. Things passed down through our family. Disappointed, I put them under the table again. Let's give it another try. As much as I'd like my mind to be elsewhere. While I'm down, my mind? Yeah, okay. While I'm down on the dirty floor once again, as my lover's dad plays with sheets. I still can't stop thinking about the carpet in Holly's room. She has to know that's there, right? So I'm kind of wondering if either Holly murdered somebody or there was an accident and they just kind of covered it up from everybody. Because I think the thing was that he was fell overboard and was hit on the head hard or something like that. It's been a hot minute since, I've done the episodes going over that, half a year at least. Which is always a pig, because you do some of these things and then you lose the finer details, and then it's what? Because there's another one that, and sorry for doing this, not only diatribe but tangent. Let's see, I started Less Shards Around that time too, plus a month. Or minus a month, closer. Then Kim Coliseum came out. She is away from her room at the school long enough to not know if it was put there. But if it wasn't her, then who? As if I asked myself this, I come across another suitcase that was thinner than the last one. This one has a nice snap to it when I undo the buckles. The dim shine of the cellulite is enough for me to see the gold sparkle coming from the box. I can see forks and spoons. This is definitely it. But I flinch as I bump into something. The box I took out earlier overturns and opens, spilling some of the clothes to the ground. Covered in blood, probably. I expect Mr. Barrs to start yelling at me, but he's in the corner still, moving on from the sheets and messing with more boxes. One of the sheets is over his head. He's a ghost. I can hear something, but it's muffled. I begin to stand up, waiting for him to take off the sheet. Oh, it's oddly quiet. But it doesn't seem like it's going to happen. I can see the outline of his muzzle shifting below as he breathes, or talks, or whatever he's doing under there, like the marks left in the sand after the wind changed it. It seems as though he's forgotten where he is for the moment. I doubt we have much time to spare, so I shake him a bit. It ain't Halloween, Mr. Briars. Still nothing. Mr. Briars, I found the silverware. You're born to fish, you know that? Well, I'm terrible at fishing. But I do like it. It doesn't matter if you disturb the waters when you aren't supposed to. That happens to the best of us. What? All you need to do now is to close your eyes and cast it out. The breeze is nice today. After this, we'll all sleep easy. It dawns on me that he's not talking to me by now. I see that he's touching an old fishing pole. So I take the sheet off his face. What I expect to see is his dazed expression of a doddering old fool. But what I see is a terrible face. His brow is so tightly furrowed that I can see the black behind his face. And the dark in his gums are curled so tightly that I can see every single one of his teeth. He has the look of a man who's woke from a dream and hates me for it, ready to snap at my throat. But this too seems like a passing dream for him. He relaxes, and looks at the case in my hand, and sighs a breath of relief. Took us long enough. He chuckles and snatches the case away from my paw, as if nothing over the course of the last few seconds has ever happened. He takes a moment to open the case and look through it, eyes bright like paintings of Santa Claus. Yep, this'll do us fine, Mr. Ayers. You carry this to the wedding venue. Where is the wedding venue? They still haven't told me. You one of those Mormons or something? Baptist. At least I used to be. Better, but still shouldn't have asked. The venue's at the church, next door to the temple. We'll be holding most of the ceremony on the veranda. He grunts as we walk up the stairs, and it's a little off-putting, but I'm just grateful to be out of this cellar. Yeah, me too. It already feels easier to breathe once you get into the hallway. When you pass in the living room, Murdoch's grandmother's gone. Is she gonna be okay? Don't ask me. She usually is. We walked downtown. The walk downtown is made a little thicker, with the heavy silverware that I'm holding trickier. For a summer morning, it's still very hot. Gonna have to hose myself down before we're dressed if one be fresh. Oh, it's a little church. Little house on the prairie. Especially that one episode where they blew up the entire town. I think that's how that ended. As we approach the venue, I can't help but feel impressed. It's the most packed I've ever seen a church in Echo. Well, at least a church site. The temple next door looks as nearly empty as always. Turns out, veranda is just a fancy word for porch. I see Murdoch's sisters, his mother, his grandmother fussing about, along with some other laborers, and a handful of elder women I've never seen before. Nobody looks stressed out, still putting on the last touches on everything. Wait. Fuck me. Because I'm like, nobody looks stressed out. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Everybody looks stressed out. Yeah. Oh, good. We have the utensils, finally. Murdoch's mother stalks down towards me in maybe the most expensive outfit I've ever seen. And here I thought we were going to tell the guests that we'd have to be using the pine cones. I shift a bit. Where do you want me to put it down? She shakes her head, looking over me doubtfully. Just give it to the caterers. There is no party without heavy labor, but to make the party it calls for a much more delicate touch. Sure. Where are they? Morning, Samuel. Cynthia, Best Bay. Oh. Well, hi there. Murdoch's mother makes a grand gesture with her hands to Cynthia, then walks away, heels clicking quickly as she moves. So, what are you doing here? Who else is gonna cater fine dining in Echo? The silver dollar? She lets out a loud laugh. Why pay for the silver experience when you can afford the gold? Is that a line you gave people at the bar? It could be. Besides, Echo's whole suffragette party was invited to attend. What? That party who hates men? Cynthia's composure falls, and she almost does a full body recoil. Sam, don't let anybody let you say something so stupid, or they'll throw you ass flat out, or your ass. Well, I don't really know what they're about. I try not to get too involved in government. Just listen to a men's rights guy on a soapbox. They're the right to vote party, Sam. Oh. She crosses her arms. Yeah. Well, I support that. Huh. When did women get the right to vote? When is it? I thought it was like early 1900s? Okay, sorry for me. Note to self. Just put that there. The smoke room. Yeah, put that there, and then go back here. I feel my cheeks getting redder. I bet it's more complicated than that, but I don't want to look any more stupid today than I already do. I'm gonna go help get things ready. I've got stuff to do. Bye. I can feel her eyes on my back as she stares me down. Oh, don't get on Cynthia's bad side, she's Best Bay. The good thing about churches is that you can always depend on them to be empty. Or, well, at least mostly empty. Okay, chicken time. There's a pew near the front. Holly and Jim are sitting there in silence, dressed in their wedding clothes. Oh, at first I looked at her and I'm like, who would? But then I'm like, buddy. He set face. Murdoch sits in the middle, head bowed, posture bent over like on Lincoln Prayer, but to who or what, I wouldn't know. Don't you all know it's bad luck for the bride and groom to see one another on the wedding day? They don't look like they're talking, but none of them are looking at the altar either. Like, they're too uncomfortable to look at it. We're not looking at one another. A church is a place for thinking, not speaking. She doesn't elaborate. Murdoch stands up and looks at his sister, or to his sister. I look forward to lighter thoughts once this day is through. He stands and looks at me, and then smiles. Then he holds out an elbow to me. What are you doing? Just getting in some practice. He hooks his elbow with mine and walks me up the aisle on the opposite side of the altar toward the dark, stained glass doors of the entrance. We're supposed to go the opposite way. He shuts me up with a kiss. I feel a tongue, and I try not to panic. Dude, we're in a church! But Jim and Holly can't see us from here, and nobody is near the entrance, but God can see us. He pushes away with a small smack. What is that for? Just the reminder that I needed that I'm not single at a wedding today. I don't remember when it became a thing, like a thing. You're so needy. He nods. That's right. Speaking of needy, I'm gonna need you to put on the formal wear you forgot at the apartment. Oh. Right. I did forget to bring it. Thanks. Thanks, Ralph. Thanks, Rat. Did he say thanks, Ralph? Thank Ralph. You really ought to freshen up before you put on the formal wear, though. That was the plan. Here, there's a bathroom we can fix you up in. I feel a small yelp escape me as he practically drags me into the bathroom. We're in the stinking desert. I don't think anybody is going to complain too much about the inevitability of body odor. God, I feel bad when I was at the gym today because I put deodorant on when I go to the gym sometimes, especially today, but I went to the gym and it's like, oh, it's very humid inside, and I was just covered in sweat. Covered in sweat. It's like, I probably stink because I can even smell myself. I mean, sorry, but there ain't much you can do if you already put stuff on you and clean clothes and the gym's just hot and humid. Sounds like an excuse to be musky? Foxes smell worse than mountain lions, you realize. That just means we have to try harder. He brushes his cheek against my muzzle and slips his tail around my leg. The crisp smell of citrus blends with the slightly sweet and skunky smell of fox, along with a creamy, clean-shaven cream. Shaving cream. But animals have shaving cream, or furries? He scrubs me down with a wet bar of soap and splashes me with water, letting the suit hang neatly by the door. This is stupid and ridiculous. Well fit for a house of God. Frankly, I think he'd be less offended if we committed acts of obscenity. I'm more scared of what my mother would do if she caught us than God. Don't even joke about that. Who says I'm joking? After enough scrubbing, splashes, and sniff tests, he finally deemed me approachable to put on the suit. Then he dabs some sort of oil from a bottle behind my wrists and my ears that made me smell like a campfire. Let's not use too much. Remember, this is a wedding, not a funeral pyre. He smiles as he fixes the tie and buttons my cufflinks. Now, I still have some things to take care of, so please lend a hand where it's needed, and let's keep professional distance throughout the ceremony. What, no making out during the wedding? He rests his hands on my shoulders, his smile falters a bit, and then he brings me in for a much tighter hug with his face buried in my chest. Let's make the best of this today. And pleasantries aside. He opens the door and slides out quickly, footsteps fading as he walks away. I look into the mirror to make sure I am as presentable as he wants me to be. Then I step out the door. And I think with that, and sorry that I'm like, this is what, maybe the third video in a row where I'm at the 25-minute mark. Yeah, let's see, that's 27, 26, 53. Where I'm like, again, like, hey, we're at the 25-minute mark, but it's like, hey, if we're somewhere between 25 to 30, I think that's a good time to call it, you know? Because then it's like, well, sometimes these things go on for a while, and sometimes they taint. Just definitely not like Sileo, where certain scenes can go on for over an hour. But yeah, because again, this next scene could be like 3 minutes, or it could be 45, like when we came home and it was a 53-minute episode. Anyways, end of this. Let's place a comment. Guys, I like comments, tips you like, dislike, tips as always. If you like me YouTube and would like to see it grow, then please like, subscribe, and share the rest of it grow. Please remember to spay near and most have control the pet population. And if you want to play this game, it's available for free on itch.io. But if you want to support the people that make this game and or get the news version earlier, then you can go to the Patreon, where it's $3 a month for this and other games. And until next time, let's say me. Sorry, it was like, can I see the mouse there? Yeah, I can. GamerWolfSix of the Smoke Room. So thanks and see ya.